Dane, this is going to be a quick one.
It's back.
Yes, it's the Until Next Week podcast. Beat drops now.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
It did.
It did. I couldn't hear it.
This will be a high energy episode. It'll be a quick episode because Dane is pregnant.
I got to get married.
Yeah, he's got to make it to the hospital for the baby so he can get married.
And the wedding.
And the wedding, too. This is going to be a big group activity.
No, Jake Trust and Art's getting married, and I got to go to the rehearsal dinner here soon.
Yes, so obviously he had his priorities straight, so he's recording with me first.
Obviously.
Before he goes to his number 2 guy, Jake Trustin, for wedding shenanigans.
Shout out to Jake Trust and Art.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Yeah. As you know, he is one of our sponsors, but who knows? Will he still be a sponsor after he's married?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Next week.
Yes. Until next week. But until then, this is the Until Next Week podcast.
Don't listen to this. That was weak.
It was. I usually don't do this. That's typically Dane's job.
Yeah. As somebody who's been a drinker of beverages for a long time.
You're an expert. I'm trying to learn from the best.
I understand. You got to really have a dedication to it.
Mm-hmm. And you know who really does have a dedication right now?
Who?
Your roommate, Jake Trust and Art, because he's having dedication to get married.
We love commitment out here, especially from men.
Yep. I love committed men.
Exactly. So that's why I've pledged to never marry.
Yes. Dane is doing very good at his commitment to never marry. Maybe with Jake getting married, he might, I don't know, maybe that'll keep him farther away from getting married, or maybe it'll cause him to run after it at some point.
Well, he's kicking me out of the house.
That's
super lame.
That's why we need this podcast to bop off soon, because Dane will be homeless.
Yeah, I'm going to be homeless if you guys don't start sending me money to @SamuelSendVenmo.
Mm-hmm. And if not money, you can always just send us more drinks. Ooh. Because that's what you typically do.
I would rather have drinks than money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you do with the money?
I buy drinks.
Yeah, exactly. And you're taking a sip right now? How's that, Baja?
That's smooth.
That is smooth. Are you also going to South Dakota for some reason?
I'm going as far north as I've ever been, which is South Dakota. And I'm going to steal Mount Rushmore because I'm tired of it looking at me.
Why? Which person exactly on Mount Rushmore are you?
Well, first I want to talk about my inspiration.
Yeah.
Number 1.
You saw National Treasure 2.
Close.
National Treasure 1?
Almost close.
3?
No, number 1's great. Number 2 sucks.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a third.
I don't think there is.
Okay, good.
There could be at some point.
But then also, Despicable Me when they steal the moon.
Ooh, that was good. But it's kind of unrealistic because then without the moon, we wouldn't have like waves or something.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a series of reasons for why we need to blow up the moon. Number 1, the moon is too big.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be there. Number 2, it's too shiny. Number 3, who told me I couldn't? Number 4, it's just staring back at me every night.
That is a very valid point. What about when there's like an eclipse?
Doesn't matter. I'm going to fight the moon.
Okay.
Also,
it's kind of like Elon fighting Mark Zuckerberg. Is it a similar situation here?
Very similar.
Okay.
Also, it's very similar to my coworker who has now said that, quote, it's common knowledge that the moon landing wasn't real.
I don't get people who say that.
I think it's funny.
well, I mean, people say that, but then you look at like, let's say like animated, like TV shows or like any sort of CGI or anything from back then, and it's trash.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yep, they definitely did that to this moon landing footage. I'm like, the odds of that alone, like how they could put that on is like more improbable than getting on the moon.
I've always explained it as like, if I found out tonight that the moon landing was fake, guess what I would do?
Not care?
I would go to this wedding tomorrow. I would do all the things that I'm supposed to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't affect my life at all.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the government lied to you?
Surprise, surprise. Wow.
Who
would have thought that the government would ever lie to us? Unlike some certain events that happened earlier in the 2000s. May have been an inside job.
Inside job, you're saying?
Steve Jobs. That's what I'm talking about.
The New York Yankees winning the World Series.
That was an inside job.
It was. Steroids.
Shout to Alex Rodriguez.
And steroids.
Yeah, and steroids.
Speaking of Alex Rodriguez, I randomly got into a weird like video watching loop last night, and I saw the old like rock band commercial, you know, where like they slide in on their socks with like the big T-shirts, and it was one with like Alex Rodriguez, Kobe Bryant, Michael Phelps, and Tony Hawk.
Sure.
Do you remember those commercials?
Nope.
Oh, well, they're good. If you do remember these, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever else you like to leave.
I'm tired of getting 5-star reviews.
Have you even left us a 5-star review at this point?
That's a great question. I don't remember.
You should look at that sometime.
I might have.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I should leave us a written one just because
Because
that always means a lot for reviews when it comes from the person doing the podcast.
I'm going to start writing weird reviews and questions.
You only can do like one.
What?
Yeah. But make multiple accounts. Do it. I would love it.
That's what I really want to do. Like with Twitter is make multiple accounts and start just tweeting at people.
Well, you got to go the Threads route now.
I'm not getting on Threads.
I mean, most people our age, I feel like, aren't even on Twitter now. It's just like random celebrities. But then Threads, you're getting some random Instagram crossover, which I think was the plan.
I am on Twitter technically, but only for the NFL, NBA, and MLB insiders.
And you're also Kevin Durant's burner account.
I am
right?
the burner. I've burned Kevin Durant.
That makes so much sense.
Burned him in a good way. But I don't even know what that means. Do you know what's hot?
Fort Worth,
Texas.
It's very, very hot.
The homeland.
Yes, the homeland.
Does Fort Worth cross your mind? Does Fort Worth cross your mind?
Is this a country lyric?
Oh my goodness. It's a George Strait song.
Hey, at least I guessed it was a country lyric.
You meatball.
I'm sorry that I'm not as ingrained in the culture as you are.
You know who else is a meatball? Connor Rule. Connor Rule is half of a meatball. And furthermore, to continue the slander, Lindsey Reed.
Yeah.
Meatball.
Yep. But we got to make it back to Connor Rule because he's listening to us right now. We
Connor!
asked him for ideas for the podcast, and he's like, too much pressure.
He did.
Too much pressure.
He said something.
So we're going to start slandering him in every way possible until he comes in here and says something on Dane's microphone.
He doesn't live in America. And he also works at a place. I don't even have a job.
He just came in completely naked.
Oh, that would not be a surprise knowing Connor.
No, he is shirtless though.
Can we talk about how?
Wait, you got to talk into the microphone. You'll be too
talking
quiet.
to the
otherwise.
microphone.
Wait, get close. Okay, talk now.
Can we talk about how Dane's never been on a plane before?
Wait,
have we talked about that?
Have you not?
Yeah, I've never been on a plane.
I've only been on a plane 4 times.
Only 4
and 2 of them were
times?
last week.
2 of them are last week.
Wow.
But also, planes are just downright unreliable.
Yeah, reference the early 2000s reference you had earlier.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking about how they're so big and they're just flying through the air and we're just supposed to think that's okay.
I mean, that's what Michael Jordan did.
He was not as big.
But he flew through the air.
He did fly through the air, but that's because he's Superman.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'll go back to my Fort Worth talk and planes because I had to fly there for a work-related trip.
You went for work?
Yeah.
How come my work since being at Tulsa?
Well, we went to St. Louis before.
Lucky.
And then because everybody's like, hey, it's really hard to fly into St. Louis from like all parts of the country. Can we go somewhere else? So that's why we went to Fort Worth instead.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's easier to fly to Fort Worth. Believe it or not. Dallas is a bigger airport than St. Louis.
Yeah. DFW or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, you could have just drove to St. Louis.
That's what I did before.
Where is everybody
But
flying
people
from?
fly from like across the country because it's a nationwide company.
But we're in the middle of the country.
Yes. But so is Texas.
So is Texas.
Yes. But that's not really relevant. While in Fort Worth, I did do a few fun things. I've never really knew what this was, but they have a place called the Stockyards, and I was hoping to get my investments in, but I guess it was more so for like cattle and stuff like that back in the day.
You're a dummy. I mean that.
I got to walk around that area. Got to go to Shake Shack for the first time ever.
Never been there.
It's pretty good. You know, people always talk about like
Is it just shakes?
It's like a burger place, kind of like a Whataburger, except drastically better. Yeah, so I got a nice burger, some good fries. They were nice, crunchy fries. I got a milkshake, and then like 3, I was going to call it spiked lemonades, but it's just caffeinated.
Oh, you're spiking your lemonades
It was caffeinated lemonade.
Arnold Palmer alert.
Yeah, but I had all that, and it was a good time kind of walking around, and then I had the bright idea to work out at the hotel afterwards.
Don't do that.
And they had Pelotons, and I had not been on a Peloton in months.
Are you a Peloton girl now?
Only when I'm at hotels randomly. So I did like 10 miles after eating all that food.
Right.
And basically I got a remembrance of that food later that night.
You threw up.
It was bad.
You passed out drunk and threw up.
It was just the first part.
Just the drunk.
No.
Just the pass out drunk. And you're also a Peloton girl now.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, it is kind of interesting doing Peloton because they're like motivating you. They're like, come on, push it. You got to get out of your seat. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
That would not motivate me.
Yeah, it's
I'd be pissed.
they try to be very motivational, and it goes back and forth.
I would turn it off.
Mhm.
I would just want to ride.
I just
by myself.
want a normal bike. I don't want a Peloton.
I can
Don't stop
motivate
talking
myself.
to me.
Yeah.
But referencing our episode last week, I did do the Taylor Swift Peloton, which
T-Swift.
it'd be cool if she was leading it, but they just played a lot of Taylor Swift music while the instructor was like, keep pushing, keep kicking. Oh, you're doing a great job. Oh, congratulations to Steve in Idaho. Just did his 700th ride. Let's all clap for him.
No.
And it gets a little weird sometimes, but it's a good workout.
What kind of weird?
They just, I don't know. This motivational workout people can be a little
Cultish?
strange. Yeah, a little bit. But that's about all I have to say about
Love
Texas.
cults.
It's very hot, though.
Yeah, it's a gazillion degrees.
Mhm.
Our boy JP Pekluda
Yeah.
was like, hey, yeah, if you go outside, it's only 110 today. Pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is a good transition to our grinding our gears segments. And this just in, I'm going to talk about Texas some more because, yes, it is very hot, including at night.
Are you talking bad about Texas?
Yeah. I walked outside after 10 o'clock one night because I needed like a snack.
How dare you?
It was like 10:10 and it was 98 degrees.
Yeah?
I'm like, why? Who?
Yeah, there's no point in
Yeah.
getting any sort of nice clothes in Texas.
It's just, you just sweat. And I have hyperhidrosis, so it makes it all the worse. But I'm like, I got my wings and I was good to go.
Well, Springfield is the exact same, except for last night it was 71 and 72.
It's usually not 98 though.
It's not 98.
It might be like high 80s at night, but this was
Ooh.
legitimately like almost 100 degrees at 10 o'clock. That's crazy, and that grinds my gears more than you know. But I did kind of like it.
At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm moving north. I can't do this
Well,
anymore.
you're not going to the place to get land because...
Why?
No, you're staying here.
I'm taking the land.
No, you're staying here because
No.
you have multiple missions going. Watch, I guess that's one mission going on.
It's operations.
Operation.
How long have we been
Sorry.
recording together? They're operations.
Please forgive me. It's not a mission. It's an operation.
You're not the only one to call it a mission versus operation.
It gets confusing at times.
It's an operation.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
Operation
Well,
Trick or Treat.
I know my terminology for your love life grinds your gears, but does anything else grind your gears?
Yeah, my love life. I mean, power outages.
I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference? Because much like my love life, there was a power outage last night.
Where was this power outage at?
Springfield.
I had power.
I know you did. I looked it up on City Utilities map. My house was the very last street over until the power outages ended. And I'm like, are you serious?
That is just not lit.
So last night, sitting here, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for
And-
specifying that was 8:30 p.m. last night.
p.m. And all of a sudden, all the lights go out as soon as it's not even raining yet. The lights just go out. And I'm like, oh, man. Well, it'll come on in like 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. It got to be like 11:30. I'm
And the
waiting.
whole time you're actually sitting on the toilet.
No.
It's like 8:30, lights off. Let's just sit here and wait it out.
Can't. The toilet's not working.
Because, the toilets run on electricity.
Exactly. But, so I'm sitting there in the
Pun
dark.
intended.
Dang it. Sitting there in the dark. And I'm just like, well, I had such dreams and aspirations for this night.
Pun intended.
As it got to 11:30, and I was like, I think I'll shower now.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and showered in the dark.
Yep.
And then I walked back out here in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
I dried off in the dark.
Did you do anything else in the dark?
I got dressed in the dark.
Ooh.
I thought about what are my options, and I was like, well, good thing I just bought my portable charger, so I was able to charge my phone
In the dark?
in the dark. And then I was like, my two options are reading in the dark,
Mm-hmm.
which I can barely read. I'm illiterate.
Mm-hmm.
Or
True.
getting on TikTok all night.
In the
So,
dark.
In the dark. I think we all know what I chose.
Yep. In the dark.
It was definitely TikTok.
Yep. I mean, if you want to improve your brain, you got a TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the good news is I can still read the Bible on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Did
in
you?
the dark. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So the good thing is I can still read my Bible. So I went on TikTok.
Yeah. No, I read every night. I can't go to sleep until I read.
That's good.
But also, yeah, I'm sitting there and then sound asleep because it got to be 11:30 and I was like,
in the
oh.
dark, right?
In the dark.
Yeah. Okay.
It was 11:30-ish. And I was like, well, I would like to stay up more. However, there's no point. So
Mhm.
I guess I'll go to bed.
In the dark.
In the dark. So I went to sleep and about 1:30 rolls around.
AM, right?
a.m.
Okay, that's good.
And all of a sudden, every light in the home comes on. And
You
like,
believe it was Jesus with his second coming?
kind
You're
of.
like, oh man, it's time. It's time.
I was very angry when I woke up to this. So I woke up and all of my lamps in my bedroom, first off, if you use overhead lighting, you're an oppressive overlord and should never be allowed in public.
Okay.
use lamps. Those are how you relax.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 of my lamps in my room came on, and I'm like, what's going on? And
Yeah. Oh.
sounds like Trent May.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Shout out Trent.
Shout out
and
Trent May.
Grayson.
Shout out Trent and Grayson May, married people.
Yes, they are.
Oh, freaking married people.
Hate them.
I know.
Just
hate
kidding.
'em. But and then I get up and I walk out into the living room. Every light in the living room is on. Every light in the kitchen's on. Every light in the dining room's on.
You know what's crazy? It's almost like you had all those lights on before, and
Yeah.
then the power went out.
It was funny because my roommate was like, so how do we fix it? I was like,
Turn off the light
I was like-
switches.
I said, we can't fix this. It's out. Like,
mhm.
we got to wait until somebody out there fixes the transformer or whatever that broke.
You got Transformers?
Yeah.
That's cool. Why didn't you ever talk about that before?
Because they broke last night and caused the
Okay.
power outage.
I got like not Megatron,
Voltron.
Optimus Prime.
Optimus fine.
Oh, Sade. That's cool though.
But yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
tired
glad.
of it.
I'm glad that it grinded your gears, but only enough for the power to come back on. Which is funny because the power outage grinded your gears, but then
Yeah.
the power non-outage also grinded your gears.
Yes.
Does anything not grind your gears?
Baja Blast.
Yeah, that's true. Which is why we're both sipping on it.
Except for they do grab my gears when they pull it off the shelf after the end of the month or whatever. And then I'm very upset
You got to
again.
stock up.
I know.
Just
I
like
do.
the stockyards I was talking about earlier.
Last year, I may or may not have bought in 12 packs
12. That's 144,000
to save over the year.
cans.
But then they expire.
Okay, they really don't expire. It's like Best Buy dates.
No, they expire. I
They-
tried them.
they're bad.
I drank them, and it went from really good to super flat and just tasted like syrup.
And I think I said this before that you just need, if you need your Baja Blast, just go
Yeah.
to Taco Bell every once in a while.
Yeah, I've been going there more and just ordering only Baja Blast.
And you're like, are you sure, sir? We're Taco Bell. Like, I know what I want.
yeah,
Give it to me.
I know who I am, son.
Mm-hmm.
But also, 2 out of 3 times when I go there and I order just a Baja Blast,
Mhm.
they go, "This is on us, man. Take off." And I'm
You're
like, "Really?" And they're like,
bless
"Yeah."
you.
I'm like, I start tearing up.
You go through again, like, can I get another? Can I have this giant cooler, like, in my back. Can you just, like, fill it up, please?
It's like those ones you see at weddings where you can get like tea or lemonade
Yep,
from.
you just fill
Can
it
you
up.
please fill this up?
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going. This is some good stuff. Man.
It is good
That's
stuff.
good.
That's good stuff.
Well, that was our grinding our gears segment, which is a good transition into our sports talk segment.
Lindsey Reed was never good at sports.
You always, I kind of tune it out at this point. Whatever you say about Lindsay, you know, I know that you just hate her but love her at the same time.
Listen, she has an obsession with cats and treats them as humans.
Okay, then everything you just said has been
Pretty sure her
accurate.
cat has cat diabetes because she keeps overfeeding it.
I mean, maybe she's trying to kill it.
Maybe.
Maybe she hates cats.
Big plot twist.
Is this like the don't with cats?
Oh, I watched
she's-
that. That
you gotta
show
say-
was weird.
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, it was
and
crazy.
Wow.
Ask Jake Trustinart. He watched it and he loves.
Jake Trustinart, he's not in
He's
here.
at the venue.
It's almost like he's getting married.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Lame.
But not lame.
lame. I've not seen Lane in like 3 days.
We're talking about so many different people. I ran into Lane, like, I think on the 4th of July. I was going into Walmart, and I saw him in the distance, and I think he was confused to see me outside of your house.
Yeah.
And then we had to go up and like, oh, hey.
All right.
Just kind of adapt each other. Actually, no, we did the elbow high five because we both had full hands.
Oh.
And it was like, let's go. Or he did at least.
Yeah, he mentioned that when he got back.
Mhm.
That
He was
saw
like,
you.
yeah, there's this weird guy.
Because I ran into Samuel at the grocery store. I was
It was-
like, why are you getting groceries, man?
It's like,
Just go out to eat.
yeah, seriously. Just go
Yeah.
to Taco Bell and get a free Baja Blast. So now actually get into sports talk.
Do you know Steph Curry made a hole in one?
You stole my whole thing. But yeah, he hit a hole in one, and then he just went nuts. Like
saw
he
that.
ran down the entire fairway. And I thought he was gonna go grab the ball out, but nope, he just ran past and just kept celebrating.
I thought he was going to grab it too, but he like threw off his hat, threw off his glove.
He was just pumped. That
did
was
like
so
a
cool.
lap.
Yeah, I thought for a second he would just run and grab it though and do something with it, but that was really cool to see. And I think they said they're going to move the 3-point line back to 150 yards.
Oh my goodness.
Just because he can hit like whatever.
He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think he could do like any other sports like this crazy good?
I think he could actually play on the PGA Tour golf if he like when he retires.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if he starts like
Kind of like a Tony Romo situation.
yeah, kind of sorta.
Mhm.
Like they both start getting really into golf,
Yeah.
which Tony is now.
Do you know though that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes did beat Steph Curry in golf? Wasn't it him?
Steph and Clay.
Yeah. Okay, so Clay just
Yeah.
not.
So Clay probably really sucked.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely not a rock because he's
'Cause
Clay.
He's Thompson.
He's Clay.
Oh. Come
Yeah.
on, Thompson. But yeah, Steph Curry, lovely young man out of Davidson, and yeah, I don't know what Sam was laughing at. He just doesn't get it. I
Yeah,
guess.
just keep talking. Yep.
And
I'll keep it there. I'll take a picture.
no, I don't want your pictures.
Okay.
No flash photography.
But
please.
besides golf, like golf and basketball, is there anything else you think you could just like dominate in? Like, I
Ooh,
don't feel like
yeah.
he could do baseball. Not really football.
Definitely not football.
I don't know.
Definitely-
I feel like he'd be a good like ultimate frisbee guy.
Yeah,
Like, he could get up there. He can run pretty well. I think that would be good for him.
yeah. I mean, ultimate frisbee. I played that 2 weeks ago, and it was not a good time for Dane.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would suggest is that ow, my foot cramp. I did get a foot cramp. But the Cardinals officially stated this week that they're sellers.
Okay. They did not say they were sellers. They said we will trade people,
Yeah, they're
which
sellers,
means
dude.
they're going to trade away. It's like a plot twist. They're like, hey, we're going to trade people, and we're going to actually trade away all our bad players and make people think they're good, like Paul DeYoung, and we're secretly going to go on a run and win the World Series still.
Did you see Flaherty to the Mariners? There's some smoke there.
I didn't see maybe where he would go, but I know that we're interested in one of the Mariners pitchers.
Logan Gilbert.
Yeah, we're also interested, obviously, in like Lucas Giolito from the White Sox
Yeah,
and
whatever.
some other guys.
So is everybody else. We're
Yeah.
not going to offer enough to get him.
But if we could get Gilbert, that would be huge. Especially,
he's not bad. I looked
he's
at his
really
stuff.
good, and
Yeah.
he's not a free agent until like 2028, so that would be very good for us. And also, people are talking about like the different rotations we could have next year, and some of them are saying like, yeah, we just got to get rid of Matz. I'm like, I'm sorry to say, I think Matz is a good pitcher.
We
Like,
talked about it
after
too.
last time. Like, he went in the bullpen, and then he had a really good start his last outing. And I think if he can really show what he can actually do the second half, I think he will be a very good piece going forward.
People like I hate the casual fans online that are like, just get rid of Matz. I'm like,
You can't just get rid of people.
you can't just do that every time somebody slumps because one, nobody's gonna want to sign with you if you keep doing that, and not seeing them through their slump. Two, you're not getting fair value for this person that
No.
you paid for him and that you know he is.
Mhm.
And three, you're just doing it to get off the money, which means you're probably going to have to give up good assets in order to get off the money.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just not a good idea. That's
Yeah.
why you always usually end up keeping those guys.
Well, that was like
That-
always before.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that's also why we're probably going to keep Contreras.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, we won't get rid of him. Like,
we
we have too
can't,
much money
yeah.
vested.
yeah.
But I do think it's funny. Like before, it's like, yeah, just trade Paul DeYoung, trade this guy, trade this other bad guy, this guy, and then just get someone really good. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
Those people are intellectually dishonest, and I can't take them seriously.
Unless you're trading with the Rockies and getting them to pay you $50 million to take Nolan Arenado, or trading with the Diamondbacks and somehow giving them very low-level prospects for your best player ever.
See, you can't say that anymore, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they have an all-star and we don't.
I mean, Paul Goldschmidt should have been in the All-Star game. That was a dumb situation where he wasn't.
That's why the all-star game is stupid because it's fan voted.
Well, and then also they require at least one player per team.
That's also stupid.
But Goldschmidt should have been in there. He's having a good season, but they had to put like Pete Alonso or like one of those other first basemen in. It's like
Freddie
you're
Freeman.
definitely not. Well, Freddie Freeman's doing amazing this
Yeah,
year.
he deserves it, but yeah, there's
Goldschmidt should have been in the All-Star game, but
Matt Olson.
Matt Olson also is dominating.
Yeah, I think there just wasn't. There's so many good first basemen.
Yeah,
in the NL.
but he could have easily been in there. He should have been in there, but they didn't. But you know, it happens. But I still think I'm very optimistic, even though the Cardinals lost again this morning and they play tonight because
no, that's
it's a
good.
doubleheader.
That's good. We want to lose.
No, we're going to make it.
We need to lose.
I am really excited about their prospect though. They got the guy from like Arizona who looks like a stud already.
In the draft,
Yeah, he looks really good.
the first round pick
I think he'll be in the major leagues next year.
next year.
I mean, he's college talent and
Yeah.
he's already really good. I think if he moves like they think he could be in the majors next season.
Was he the first round pick?
Yeah.
He's an outfielder.
Yeah. And I,
was
think
like-
he dropped lower than people expected. So he looks really good.
I read that he's
had
the
like a-
best hitter in the draft.
He had a 1.2 like OPS for a big team, and it's like this guy looks good. He had like a King Griffey Jr. type swing, and he also has been compared to like Carlos Gonzalez, and I'm like,
Ooh,
I like this.
I would love Carlos.
I like
Gonzalez.
this.
Yeah,
Um,
but we needed more outfielders though too.
yeah. Oh yeah, because people are like, why are you drafting outfielders? I'm like, well, we're about to probably trade some right
Yeah.
now. Like
Yeah.
O'Neal's most likely gonna be gone.
I don't think he'll be gone.
You don't think so?
He's injured.
Yeah, but he's doing somewhat okay. He's been like 270 during his AAA assignment. No homers, but at least
Is he playing
somewhat
AAA
decent.
right now?
Yeah, he's been doing a rehab.
So he might be traded.
Yeah. He might get traded. Carlson might get traded, which I still like him personally.
He has like superstar as soon as he leaves our team.
Mm-hmm.
written all over him.
Yeah,
like
he
everybody
has
else.
a lot of, I think, upside. The guys I wouldn't mind getting traded, I honestly would not mind trading Tommy Edman. Like, I
I
know
love
he's very
Tommy.
good at defense, is a great guy, but offensively, I don't think he's really there.
I love Tommy.
He's awesome, but I could see him being a really good trade piece to try to get a big piece.
It's tough. He doesn't really fit in anywhere for us.
And Brendan Donovan's better.
Donovan, yeah, hitting wise, and is just, well, I wouldn't say just as good, but like slightly below him defensively.
But he was the Gold
Still,
Glover last year.
Still awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think I was seeing something earlier. It's like, do not get rid of Donovan. He will be that guy. If you trade him, he will be the one like, oh, we trade away this superstar.
Again.
Like, he has 10 home runs on the year. He's elite defensively and
Yeah.
can play literally anywhere.
Anywhere on the infield for sure.
In outfield.
Yeah, you can
He-
play
he's
corner outfield
really good in
spots.
outfield. Like, he can do literally any position.
There's 3 positions he can't play.
I bet you he could catch.
He,
I bet you he could.
Can he or should he? is
Well, I'm
the
not saying
difference.
I'm saying if they need an emergency catcher, he could be that guy.
I heard Tommy's the emergency catcher
Yeah, but if he gets hit by like one pitch, I feel like he'll just die.
because he's so small.
Yeah, he's a small
I
dude.
think Donovan couldn't play short, center field, or catcher.
Donovan could do short.
I don't think he can play short.
I think he's played short before.
When?
Why couldn't he do short if he plays second, third, first, outfield?
Well, here's the thing. I think everybody could play those spots, but play it well. I mean, it just depends.
Jordan Walker.
But also, yeah, he can't play anywhere well. But but also, we have like 900 shortstops anyways. So
Yeah,
and outfielders.
It'll be interesting to see. I kind of want them to do some trades, getting rid of some of those guys, so we might just move up like Mason Wynn and see
Yeah.
what he can do and see what some of these other guys can do.
Gruffalo.
And then they go off and we somehow make the playoffs and do something nasty.
Well, we talked about it. They need to sign Aaron Nola in the offseason. They're not
If we
gonna
could
do
get Nola and also trade for Gilbert now, sign Nola in the offseason, and then hopefully re-sign Montgomery.
it. He'll get traded too, I've heard.
Yeah, I think he'll get traded. Which I think the guys understand though at this point, like
Yeah,
especially if they're going to be a free agent, they'll likely get traded. But I think they'll try to re-sign Montgomery.
that'd be
So
awesome.
if they could get Nola, re-sign Montgomery, trade for Gilbert, and then we have Matz on there and Michaelis. And then if maybe one of those guys does not work out, then we can move up one of our minor league pitchers who does
Right.
look good, who's not named Liberatore because I want him gone.
Well, even so, I don't think that's enough to compete in October.
I think for starting pitchers, that's pretty stinking amazing. If you had like Gilbert and Nola.
Well, it's better
and-
than what we've had recently.
Gilbert and Nola would be like that elite 1-2 you'll need.
I don't think Gilbert's elite though.
He is. Look at him. He's
think
really
he's-
young also.
So then why would Seattle trade him to us?
Because I think they need offensive pieces.
I heard it was like a Flaherty deal.
Well, I'm saying, though, there's a chance we could get Gilbert, but they also have a lot of pitchers, so there's a chance we could get one of their other guys as well. Like, I also like George Kirby. He looks really good. He played against the Springfield Cardinals like last year, the year before, and I knew he was good because I had baseball cards of him to get autographed, and if I have cards of somebody, most likely they're decent.
Dang it.
So, yeah, that sports talk went long, like usual. But I think we still got about 15 minutes or 20 minutes to work around with. So we got to go into our segment of the day. Yes, our big segment. And as you know, our big segments are drafts, not giraffes. We're not talking about the zoo.
I'm talking about draft beer.
Yeah, draft. We're doing draft beer taste testing. This will be the first time I have a sip of alcohol, and it'll be during the podcast.
Number one is Bud Light. Oops.
Dane loses.
Oh, no. Room spinning.
Yeah, but we're actually going to draft Common Outdoor Activities Midwest Edition.
Ooh.
Yes, we're talking if you're just out during the summer and like, hey, you're at a barbecue.
Yep.
You know, there's usually some games out there.
Samuel
if they're-
cheated to get the 1-1.
if they're doing it right. There's also other times where you just have fun outdoor activities, and we decided this would be the draft we need to just add time to our podcast. So here we go.
No, it's middle of July.
Yeah.
You're looking to see what's your favorite outdoor Midwest activity.
This is relevant because you might do some of these in the next month or two.
But also, Samuel originally put cigar smoking on here.
Yep, but we
But-
decided that was off the charts. I would have won instantly, so
Well-
we had to take it off.
He also cheated to steal the first pick.
We played rock, paper, scissors. I put scissors, and
I
then
put
Dane
bomb.
flew his hand up, and it's like, oh, that's paper. It's like, no, it's a bomb. I'm
I
like,
did bomb.
Like, that's not how we're doing this.
It was bomb.
No.
Samuel cheated, I'm telling you.
Yes, but scissors beat bomb. So for my
I
number
guess.
one overall pick, I'm going to pick cornhole.
You look like a cornhole.
yeah, I do.
Or bags, as some people call
As
it.
incorrect people say, it's bags, but it's truly cornhole.
Yeah, it's cornhole.
I had a debate briefly about this at when I was in Texas because they had cornhole set up, and some people were like, "It's called bags." I'm like, "Look online. It's literally called the cornhole like national championships."
Yeah, it's on ESPN. Look it up.
Yeah, on ESPN they have the cornhole national championships.
Yeah. Well, how come we don't have commentators for that?
They have some people. We should be them.
We
That
should
would be
be
good.
them.
But I also want to play because that would be fun.
I'd be indifferent either way.
But when
would
you
like to play,
but when you think though, like common summer outdoor activities, cornhole's almost always in the mix. People love cornhole.
Oh boy, there it is. There goes Samuel with the ethnic diversity again.
I might bleep that.
Dang it.
There we go. Michael Fuller, here's your bleep. So whatever I just said, it's bleeped, and you can guess what it is. That
Right.
might sound bad. Who knows?
Samuel just spares people. That's what it was.
Wow. Okay. Well, now I have to bleep that too. No more bleeping for now. But yeah, cornhole is just very fun. It's easy to like
Cornhole.
learn how to do, and then you can do like 2-on-2, 1v1, etc. And it's a fun time. It's good.
I have to enlist in the military. I just remembered because I lost a game of cornhole last 4th of July. And I said that the loser had to enlist in the military.
So I'm guessing cornhole would not be your favorite for that reason.
Well, I haven't seen this person since.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm not going to pick cornhole for that reason.
Okay. Well, who are you going to pick for your first two picks?
I'm going to take hiking.
That's your favorite common outdoor activity?
I like hiking.
I guess it's not just barbecue.
Yeah, common outdoor activities, Midwest edition.
Barbecue. Where's Dane going? Yeah, he's just hiking. Like
Yeah,
we
I'm
got
hiking,
cornhole
man.
over here and burgers. Like no, he's hiking.
I'm hiking.
Okay.
And Samuel's playing cornhole. I'm seeing the sights. Samuel's seeing red.
Yeah, I'm more of the liver king
I don't know what that means.
because you said hi king, and then
Hiking.
they had a guy named Liver King who was like viral, and because he's like I'm all natural bodybuilder dude,
who that
and then
is.
he took steroids. Go figure.
Nice.
Okay, so hiking.
Lance Armstrong. But yeah, hiking is so much fun. You can go to different national parks, which may be going to the Badlands at Lindsay Reed.
Well, you are going to see the not Statue of Liberty, the
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
I'm taking one of the presidents.
Mm-hmm.
Please
as
leave in
your
the
wife.
comment- What? No.
Mm-hmm.
I like girls. However, my second event that
This
I'm
just
gonna
in. Dane likes girls.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Okay.
Just did the Sports Center.
Yep.
So my second event that I'm going to take is barbecuing.
Okay.
I like burgers. I like brats. I like putting corn on the grill. I like putting vegetables in tinfoil and putting it on the grill.
You like hot dogs.
I don't like hot dogs.
Dang it.
I'm okay with hot dogs.
Okay.
But then when you think about what they're made out of, I'm like,
Okay.
I don't need that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, barbecuing. Delicious. Give it to me now.
Delicious and nutritious.
It can be.
Yep. My number 2 overall pick, I could go a lot of different routes here. And because you're going interesting with like the hiking and barbecue, I think I'm going to go with ultimate frisbee.
Wow. Another
Yes.
white person thing.
It really is, but it is a fun activity to do. We did discuss it briefly earlier with Steph Curry.
Chef Curry.
But I feel like ultimate frisbee is something I did early on, like back when I swam and stuff, like especially early on. You have no eye.
What's going on?
Yep. He's poking himself in the eye, but it's okay.
It's not true.
But yeah, ultimate frisbee. We used to play it sometimes back at swim practice. We
In
don't
gym
have like
class.
certain days where we don't swim, which was always the best days. We would do ultimate frisbee, which was fun. Also, when I used to be a camper at Kanaka camps or also worked there, we would do ultimate frisbee quite a bit. And then there's also just other times where ultimate frisbee comes up, and it is fun because if you're really tall, you have a good advantage.
True.
And I'm really tall, so I have a great advantage.
Swimming sucks.
But we've talked about that before. And
I'm scared of it.
we might not even pick that as a common outdoor activity.
I hope we don't.
Yeah. But for number 2 on my picks, I do pick ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee.
Number 3, again, could go a lot of different routes, but something that's been kind of a big deal in my life lately is some wiffle ball.
Wow.
Wiffle ball is another fun activity. Both Dane and I enjoy some good baseball, but wiffle ball, what are you doing? Oh, you're typing it for me. Thank you. He's updating our outline so we know what our picks are. He usually doesn't do this, so I appreciate it.
What are you laughing at, man? I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. You didn't type wiffle ball. He typed wiffle. That was funny there. He's a funny guy. Enjoy doing this podcast with him for that reason. But yeah, wiffle ball. I had mentioned I'm in a wiffle ball league with work. We're undefeated for the year because I've been dominating on the pitching scene. And, it's fun to do. I've done it multiple times with friends over the years. I used to do it all the time with my brother, just won him D1 in our backyard growing up. And it just brings back a lot of good memories. And it's a fun game, It's good.
Fun.
It's good. Everybody can do it. So those are my next 2 picks. Dane, what are your final 2 picks for Common Outdoor Activities Midwest Edition?
The only thing I have to say is that based off of Samuel's picks, he hates America. And
Okay.
And
okay.
also,
Well, I mean, I'm not the one who lost cornhole and said I'd enlist, but then didn't do it. So are you the one who hates America?
you don't know if I'm enlisted right now or not.
Okay.
I've been to Fort Leonard Wood more times in the past year than I've ever been.
Oh, yeah? Well, I went to Fort Worth.
That's not a fort.
You got to talk louder.
It's just-
No one can hear your whispers.
It's not a fort.
Okay. But your next 2 picks for your outdoor activities, you have hiking, barbecue. What's number 3?
Shooting off fireworks.
Shooting off fireworks.
Yep. And it's just amazing because in California, it's illegal where Connor's from. And Connor, frankly, is illegal himself. And I believe in freedom. And freedom is launching things into the air that burst into pretty pictures in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I love America. I love freedom. Vote for me this fall. Thank you.
Okay, what do you want for your last pick?
All right, my last pick. My last pick is going to be something interesting. It's going to be, I got to come up with one.
Okay.
It's going to be, I got it. It's going to be going and getting ice cream.
Getting ice cream.
Yep. What is PD's nuts? D's nuts.
You get D's nuts on these ice cream?
No, I hate nuts on the ice cream.
Okay.
I like cookie dough ice cream. You know what I usually do whenever I go to get ice cream?
Mm-hmm.
Is I ask the person working there, what is your favorite combination of ice cream or whatever I'm at? And they go, well, it's probably this or this. And I'm like,
Is that how
well,
they usually talk?
that's probably.
Nope.
Yeah, that's exactly how they
Yep.
talk. But they're like, it's this or and this together. And I said, give me one of those. Then
Yeah.
then I get it, and it's usually okay.
I do that a lot. I was going to say you should ask them, hey, what do you get? And then they say, you're like, ew, that sounds disgusting. Get something else.
Disgusting.
Why do you work here?
Why do you even work here?
Yeah. So you have ice cream as your final pick?
I like ice cream.
Okay. This has given me a lot of time to think of my final pick, which I kind of forgot to think about until this very moment. And for that reason, I have picked cornhole.
He's going to pass.
I have picked ultimate frisbee. I have picked wiffle ball. And for my number 4 overall pick, I am going to pick
playing in the sandbox.
Oh.
You don't like sandboxes?
Yeah. No, maybe.
Oh,
Sometimes.
going to the beach.
Being to the beach is good. Oh, thought of it.
Starting in that forest fire in a
the
national
one
park.
where you slap the ball on the net.
Tetherball?
No.
Volleyball?
Slap the ball on the round net.
Oh.
Spike ball.
That's
a word.
That's not a good
Spike
game.
ball. Spike ball is a good game. So yeah, spike ball, again, another fun game that's really came on the scene like the past few years.
You picked the widest things imaginable.
Well, we did put Midwest edition. We originally had it a different edition.
Dang
So-
it. Take it second edition.
I stayed true to my original answers. But yeah, cornhole, ultimate frisbee, wiffle ball, and spike ball. Spike ball, this is a vibe. It also is fun to do on the beach, like you mentioned, because you're more likely to like lay out for it, because I don't want to lay out on the concrete for a spike ball. But if I'm in the sand,
Maybe if you're
it's
not a
kind of
champion.
fun.
Maybe if you're not a champion.
Well, I am a champion. And you are a champion of barbecue, ice cream, shooting off fireworks, and hiking.
What?
He is just playing with his mic.
Don't call it that, dude.
What do you want me to call it? If this was a video podcast, like this would make so much more sense.
Somebody said that to me the other day. They said that we should take a little soundbite and segments and post them.
We
on
need
things.
clips, and I just need to probably buy like a little stand for my phone so I can do something. Because I know that's to be the best way to potentially grow the podcast is just to have clips, because then it might go randomly, probably not viral, but it might get some views, and people are
Yeah.
like, whoa, What is this Until Next Week podcast?
Yeah. I've had several people say that they follow the Instagram, but they don't listen to the pod.
Okay. Well, I need to post more stuff to the Instagram then.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. So I need, okay. So maybe next week I might figure out how to do that, which really it's probably just recording all this and then I just have to connect the audio. Okay. It's going to happen soon. You heard it here first. It's going to happen soon. I might add video content to the Instagram.
Dang it.
Which would be great.
Samuel is going to another podcast event in August.
Oh, yeah. We're kind of closing up our podcast for this week.
Grande-boo.
Yes. So you've heard me talk about Ghost Runners.
Yeah.
If you remember, the other podcast that kind of inspired this podcast. And
Didn't inspire me.
Well, you haven't listened to it.
I listen to podcasts.
It's a good podcast. It's very good. But they've done multiple events for like their fans because they actually have more fans than we do, believe it or not. I know
What?
It's crazy. It's crazy to think.
No.
Also, one of the guys on there, Jake Triplett, had like 30,000 Instagram followers when he started his podcast.
That helps.
So I think that helps because I think we have collectively like 1,000, which is less than 30,000, I think.
I have like 700.
Okay, so we're almost at 1,500, but some of them overlap.
Nice.
So again, probably about like 1,200.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Lame.
But I went to an event they did in Kansas City back in like February of 2022, and they had like a variety show, and we played like pickleball and did some other stuff, and it was super fun. And they also have done like a couple other events since then, or like before then, and now they're doing another big event in Kansas City where they're going to do like I think like a variety show and like a live podcast and like a after party thing and some other stuff. So I bought some tickets for that, and I'm going to go in the middle of August, and it should be fun.
Should be hot.
And my goal is, not really my goal, but because I'm saying it now, it is my goal, that I want people to recognize me and be like, hey, are you the guy with the Until Next Week podcast?
That's the goal.
Yes!
We got to get more
I
controversial.
finally did it.
Got to get more controversial.
Which I think there's at least one or two people who listen to their podcast and this podcast. So if any of them go and they see me and they say something,
Allie.
I will have made it. I don't know if she's going or not.
She could.
We'll see. So that will be the first time I'm recognized for a podcast by someone I don't technically know in public.
Wow.
Potentially.
That
would be kind of cool.
You got to make t-shirts, though, too.
Yeah. Just go into the Ghost Runners podcast and have Until Next Week podcast.
Listen.
And then right underneath it says, please recognize me.
Please recognize me.
Please.
My name is
Please
Samuel.
clap. Please clap like Ted Cruz.
Dang it. No politics, dude.
Hey, no. Hey. Oh, you did change the last sponsor of the week. Way to go.
Oh.
Because you originally added something else. But yeah, do you have any other final thoughts, or you want to jump into these sponsors of the week?
My final thought is that Mountain Dew is delicious.
It's so good.
And I'm going to
It really
bring a
is.
bunch of it to the wedding tomorrow.
Mountain Dew is great. Baja Blast is pretty good. And
Do I have a
talking
problem?
to you is better.
Yes. Do I have a problem? Also, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to address that problem? No, because dentists are just haters disguised as doctors.
You're going to drink away the problems with Mountain Dew.
Might as well. Every country song talks about it, and they end up pretty okay.
Whenever you most likely eventually get married, please have a Mountain Dew fountain.
Oh, first off, that's one of my non-negotiables.
That would be amazing. Get it on tap. What do you got on tap? Mountain Dew and Baja Blast.
You can have regular Baja.
Yeah, your choice.
No, like for real, like the past 3 or 4 years, my one of my only non-negotiables is I have to have a Baja Blast fountain.
Yeah. And you have to have a female wife.
Yep, that is
marry.
one of the non-negotiables as well. I will also be descending in a hot air balloon.
Descending or ascending?
No, descending. Ascending is going up.
I know.
I will crest the
What will you
tree
caress?
line.
You'll caress the tree line?
I will crest the tree line.
That sounds inappropriate.
You guys will see me floating, and then I start floating down one by one, me and all the groomsmen. And then,
oh, wait, so they'll... I don't want to make that joke,
and
actually.
then as we're going to be in there, and you know how you dismiss for to go eat? I'll be like, all right, guys, let's
Got a blast.
We're going to ask questions about Dane. You don't get them wrong. Guess what? You're not going to eat. I don't care. I'll take it home.
What's my shoe size?
What's my shoes?
What's my 40 time?
Who's my biggest hater? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Lindsay reading the back. It's me. No, you got it wrong. You got to leave.
You got to sit down. You sit down. You can't
Someone
eat.
else, next person. Lindsay Reed. You got it.
You got it.
Hey.
You got it. Lindsay Reed.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
man.
that's my last thoughts.
That's a good final thought. So now going to our sponsor of the week. You know him. You love him. If you don't know him, we hope you know him so that you will love him. Yes, that is our number one Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any verses of the week, or are we just gonna make up one? Not make up one, but to say one off the top of the dome.
Well, yeah, my phone's on the charger right now, so
Mhm.
I got to come up with one here.
Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
No, everybody knows that one.
Okay. Okay. I guess it's only Dane can say verses. Okay, Dane, you say a verse.
Yeah, only I can say verses,
Mhm,
and I'm
mhm.
going to choose
You're kind of like
Philippians.
the leaders back in the day, religious leaders. Like only I can read it, and you just have to listen.
Hold on. I think we have a guest verse coming in.
Oh, Connor Rule. Does he want to
Does
read
Connor
us
have
a verse of
any
the week?
verse that he...
Okay, he has one, and he's going to come and read it into Dane's microphone with a good volume voice. Okay.
Connor, what
Wait,
is
we're
the
just
verse
waiting
that
for
you
him
want us to
now.
talk about?
He's looking. He's
Or-
looking.
I can come up with one right now. I
He's
got it.
looking. He's still.
He's got two.
Okay, so are you going?
All right.
Okay.
So the first one is, it's better to live on the corner of a roof than with a quarrelsome woman. Now, Connor, what's yours?
He's about to read it.
That's in Proverbs.
Another
I
guest on the
believe.
podcast. This is a good time.
It is a good time. Lindsay Reed almost made it, but she said
She's been on more than anybody else.
she doesn't support love.
She hasn't called in recently.
I was supposed to call her during this podcast because she had a experience trying to buy Taylor Swift tickets.
Okay, well we'll talk to her next week about that.
Yeah,
So
she'll
until
probably-
next week,
She'll remember.
yeah, she will. She'll send us an Instagram message.
Yeah,
I
I'm
do
gonna-
appreciate how much interaction I have with her there. I
Yeah.
think she knows that I'm the one who runs the Instagram.
She did say that on a recent phone call with her.
Yeah, she knows that I'm the one
Which
because
is
you would. I
ridiculous.
definitely probably treat her better than you would in those situations. Oh wait, I thought.
Read Deuteronomy.
Sure, you can read it. If you have any young kids, maybe don't listen to this part.
the Bible.
You
Okay.
Make sure to read all of the Bible,
Yep.
including the Old Testament.
Here's Connor Rule coming in.
Deuteronomy 23:1. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose male organ is cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord. Just remember that, guys.
Can't argue with those facts.
Wow. Connor Rule, his first and last time on the podcast.
I think there's two pretty fire verses right there.
That was good right there. I'm surprised he didn't look so long for that verse. I think he had that on his lock screen and he wanted to act like it wasn't there.
Well, he read it to me the other day, and I
He's
was
like, hey, this is my life verse. It's in my Instagram bio.
yeah, you can't crush. But also, one last time, you want to read our second sponsor?
Oh, yes. Our second sponsor, Jake Trustin Art. And is only going to be Jake Trustin for a little bit longer because he is getting married. And
Yeah.
he will be taking Michaela's last name.
Jake Nebel.
Yep.
But-
So then it would be Jake Neville. It'll still be Jake Trustin. Jake Trustin Neville.
Jake Trustin Nebel.
Yep. It did take me a while to realize that wasn't his actual name, but
Yeah.
he just goes by that for
His art
Art.
name is that because it's more distinguishable
Yeah.
than Jake Williams.
yeah.
So,
But it took me a while to realize that, but I know it now. But now you know it as well.
well, I think when Jake listens to this, he's not going to be happy that I said his full name on here, Jake Trustin Williams.
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up, and if you want to steal his,
Just buy his art. Just do that. Then he won't care what you do.
that's a good point.
If you steal his identity but buy his art, he'll love you.
Yeah, we may or may not be back here in this podcast studio. We might be moving.
Mhm.
Just depends. He says that we can come back and record, but
Yep.
you know how that is.
I really do know how it is. But do you know who our final sponsor of the week is?
Who's our final sponsor of the week?
You know, I almost changed it for a variety of reasons that have transpired in the past few minutes. But yes, our third sponsor of the week is Connor Rule. Everybody clap for Connor. Yes.
Connor, any last thoughts you want the podcast people to know about California?
This could be your time.
Only visit, don't move there.
Oh, you heard
There
it
you said
here
it.
first and probably also heard it other places as well. But Connor Rule, yeah.
He lived there his whole life except for 3 years that he lived in Missouri.
And he's here now.
And he loves Missouri way better.
Yeah, because you know why that is?
Because lower prices?
And the Until Next Week podcast
And the Until
is
Next Week
headquartered here. So yes, we love you, Until Next Week podcast listeners.
It's wedding time.
It's wedding time, and it's episode 29. And
Wet the bed.
yep, there you go. See you next week.